My name is OfirTouche Gafla and I'm from Israel.
What is the question most commonly asked by your readers back home?
Oh, well, they keep asking me where do I get my ideas from, because which is a kind of a sort of a compliment, because they think they're very far-fetched and crazy.
How do you answer the question?
I always say the same thing. I say I bring them from the Black Forest. Yeah.
Is there a single book, author, or teacher who at this point in your career seems to you a singularly strong influence?
Well, I always say that every good writer that I've ever read is a source of influence, probably subconscious. I can honestly say that the biggest, I call it the biggest concussion I've had, literary concussion, was when I was 24 and I read Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses. Because when I read this novel, I was so amazed that someone can write such a book and, you know, get away with something like that. You know, this is the kind of book that you read and you say, is it allowed to write something like that? You know, when you're young. And afterwards you realize that, yeah, you can do whatever. But it was an amazing... And Salman Rushdie is actually one of my favorite writers.
Where do you usually write?
Oh, this is going to be very revealing. I don't write behind a desk. I write sitting on my bed. And I usually don't write with a laptop, I write with a pen. So I can actually even be writing prostrate. Yeah, so yeah, I write in bed. But I'm very alert and up.
What are the hardest environmental conditions you've ever actually written in or during?
Oh, well, there were many. Well, it's environmental because I could think of mental conditions, but environmental conditions, I can't think of any, you know, hazardous environmental conditions, you know, that, no, everything is fine, you know. Well, of course, sometimes when there is a very, like a security thing, you know, going on, so you have to write and you have to commit yourself to your characters while thinking in the back of your head, oh, perhaps I won't be here to finish the novel, but, you know, because there's a missile. But, you know, yeah, it sounds funny, but it is funny when you think about it. It is funny, but yeah. But on the other hand, I actually wouldn't mind it happening, because then, you know, I wouldn't have to finish the novel, which really, the best reason not to finish a novel and, you know, become an idol.
How do you recharge your batteries?
By walking every day, 60 minutes, by listening to music, by I call it leaving my door open to, you know, the world of art, music, literature, cinema, talks with people, walking, you know, this is like on a daily basis. I think that I honestly believe that many people think that recharging is something that happens during holidays only, which is silly. Recharging has to be a mundane thing, a day-to-day thing, quotidian, I like this word.
What has been or what is your favorite quiet place in Iowa City?
Oh, I would say the river next to the hotel, which of course it's not very special, but it's great to be drinking my naked juice and having a smoke by the river, and I enjoy saying it because I know it's a crime.
What has most surprised you here?
Oh, many things. First of all, how nice and pleasant everybody is. The fact that every morning when I take my walk, 90% of the people who come across me just smile at me and say hello. which to me is like, it makes me feel like Alice in Iowa land. And the other thing is the efficiency of the people here, and how professional they are, and how everything just works according to plan. It's very impressive.
Can you imagine anything specifically from your time here finding its way into your work?
Whenever I visit some place, it always, something of the experience finds its way into my work. Not immediately, but I'm sure that in my next project, and not the one that I'm working on now, there will be some portion of Iowa. I'm sure of it.
Is there, hopefully you'll answer these questions. As writers, there are usually two things that I always find. The one is, what's the one thing you keep or continuously maybe cut from your work? Is there one thing from each piece that you try to find a home for and it just hasn't found its place yet?
Things that I'm interested in writing and still haven't been written, or
it could be a character, it could be one sentence, it could be an idea.
Well, with me it's a very tricky business, because I've got so many plans for the future, for future novels. So, and I know what they're going to be about, even in general. So what happens is that sometimes when I intend to write something in the novel that I'm working on now, I have to tell myself, hey, hang on a second, because you can't write it here, because it's supposed to be in the novel that you're going to be writing like in 10 years time, because I've got, like, this is the German in me, I've got plans. I've got many plans. I've got plan B, C, D, E, F. So yeah. So I'm doing everything in my capacity not to repeat the stuff that I've done already, and to avoid repeating the future, as ridiculous as it may sound, dear. But you know what I mean, you're a writer.
Who is a writer?
A writer is a thinker, to me. A writer is a person who is always alert. A writer is a person who understands human beings. And a writer, to me, is first of all a very perspicacious and good human being. I know that many writers are jerks. One of the most important things to me, and this is what I tell my students, is that you have to be, in order to be a good artist, you have to be a good human being. I know that it is refuted by history, but still I do believe that this is a prerequisite. I can't imagine it otherwise.